8 years, Boston's a much better franchise. But when Jason Tatum plays poorly or doesn't play, the net rating often goes up. Did you watch the Warriors without Steph? It's hard. They're unwatchable. You see Jokic is now gassed. Denver can't score.
Okay. It's a bummer because he didn't really talk about the Warriors. That's the only line. And, I was kind of really trying to hold out and wait for like an actual Warriors segment, but it's not there. So I got to do the best that I can here. He's saying that the Warriors are unwatchable without Steph Curry. Listen, are the Warriors a significantly better team with Steph Curry? Yes. I know that must be breaking news and shocking to everyone out there. But I think the Warriors played awesome against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And considering that the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Lakers in 5 with LeBron James and Luka, the team that everyone had set up to just go, win the next 7 titles in a row here, the Warriors had that game. The Warriors were 100% in the position to win that game. No doubt about it. I mean, I'm watching that game and I was like, they can pull this off as long as they don't go cold down the stretch and the Timberwolves don't get hot down the stretch. And of course, that's exactly what happened, right? Jimmy Butler didn't have I think he didn't have like a bucket in like the last like 8 minutes of the game or something. I forget exactly what it was. Ant got hot, Nas got hot. Like it just switched in the final. And that is the problem that the Warriors have without Steph. That they don't have that closer. They don't have that other weapon. In order to really come away with that win in the final 3-4 minutes, you do need Buddy Hield to be knocking down some threes. You do need Kuminga to step up big. You do need especially Jimmy Butler. And they didn't have that. But throughout that game, that was a tight game that the Warriors were in control of. The Warriors were in control of that game probably majority of that game, which is remarkable because we're talking about a playoff game without Steph Curry. And really, realistically speaking here, it's Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. And it was against the team that, for many moments in the series against the Lakers, humiliated LeBron and Luka. That's just a fact. That's not an opinion here. That's just the reality of how that series went. So no, as me, someone who's a basketball junkie, I'm wildly impressed. Is it unwatchable with the Warriors because it's so much more exciting when you see Steph? And obviously, watching him play is just, he's one of the most exciting players. Yeah, so it's less exciting, of course. Because Steph, his style of basketball is just some of the most exciting quality of games that you could ever watch. But look at with Jokic on the floor. With Westbrook and, Jamal Murray. They're getting rocked in certain games. I mean, we saw all these games with Giannis, with Luka, LeBron. I'm trying to think of some of the other bigger names that played so far in the playoffs. Mitchell. That's with those guys on the floor. And there's been games where you're just like, they don't have a chance. There's like legitimately not a chance for this team to win the game. Even against the Knicks. So, can we please put that in perspective here? Like how pretty remarkable it was that the Warriors were in that game. And that's what makes it kind of devastating because they had that win. And then it would be different right now. That's what would make the, game 4. That is now, it's like all in. The biggest bummer is that not only did Steph get hurt, but Jimmy Butler too. Jimmy Butler, and I've said this now in every video because it has to just be repeated. He clearly is just gutting it out. I mean, you could just see it. He went down a couple times in that game where you see when he went to the ground. You could see it. Like he needs a second to get up. You see it. Like it because he's landing like on his tailbone, his thigh. Like you can see it, and he needs a second. Like it is there. Like it is a thing that he is managing throughout this thing. So like he is doing everything he can, and that's a bummer, because if he was actually healthy, I mean, they would be up 2 games right now, even without Steph. And like that's That's the bummer. That's the bummer more than anything. Because then I think we would get more of a vintage playoff Jimmy. They could maybe even be up, get 3-1, 2-1, 2-2 at least, getting it until Steph can come back, and then, dare I say, maybe even potentially winning this year. I mean, if this was like true vintage Jimmy Butler. I mean, did you see that move that he had on Ant? Oh my gosh. Like at the baseline. And that's him hanging on by a thread against 23-year-old Ant who's just like ready to explode. So it's a bummer. This was clearly going to be the best series. All these other series have been so lopsided. Like each game has been so kind of bizarre. The Pacers Cavaliers game have been kind of exciting, but I feel like kind of for different reasons. And not so convinced the Cleveland Cavaliers really have a chance to win the title. I do believe the Minnesota Timberwolves can win a title, and I do believe the Warriors can win a title. So when you see two teams going head to head, especially with some big names, big matchups, and Steph, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, like it just hits different. Gobert, even Julius Randle. It would have felt like the team that wins this like really has an awesome chance to win it all. And it's a bummer because we're kind of getting robbed, which is like, listen, I don't try to root for anything. I really, really don't. But like from just a basketball fan perspective, I know Minnesota Timberwolves don't want this and Warriors definitely do. It's like you want to be able to see this series try to get close. Like, it'd be pretty cool actually. Steph Curry doesn't play until Game 7 or something, right? It gets to Game 7, it's 3-3. It all comes down to one game, and then it's the return of Steph Curry. Like that would be exciting. But I'm here for the drama. I'm here for the entertainment. I'm here for the noise. But yeah, it's just I really kind of criticize. I didn't criticize Colin, but I criticized the take of like, having the first round be best of 3 or something, or at least best of 5. And I was like, no, the NBA playoffs are so exciting. So exciting. You can't do that. We live for this. The regular season is such a grind. The playoffs are everything. And now that you see all these players tired and banged up, or at the very least, just give them extra rest. As much as I don't like it when they have like extra days rest, because I'm like, come on, let's play. And actually years ago when they first added some extra rest, Steve Kerr was like, I don't like this. I just want to play. I'm just totally like, give these players extra rest. I want to see the best versions of themselves in the playoffs. I'd rather them shorten the regular season, which unfortunately they'll never do, and still give us best of 7 series every round. But if not, they totally can give extra rest. They absolutely can. And that way we can actually just get higher quality ball. Because we have to watch the whole regular season of them not caring. And now we see them play where they care more than anything, but they're all run down, tired, and all on the brink of potentially getting banged up. It's okay to make changes, and I hope the NBA does, honestly, because I live for the basketball playoffs, man. I live for the basketball playoffs, and you know what? They should make the best. I forget how long the basketball, NBA playoffs end up being, like around 2 months or so. Like, there's no problem extending it and making it just like the bulk of why everyone watches the NBA, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with it making it like, a 3-month time where it's just like, yep, April, May, and June is just nothing but NBA playoffs and it's box office. You can build it up. You can make it larger than life, larger than it already is. Heck, push it back a week after the season. Let everyone rest up for a week. Work with the NFL so you don't have the NFL draft overlap, because whether you love it or hate it, the NFL draft is massive now. Gets more ratings than basketball playoffs. Don't try to compete with them. Work with them. Push it back. And, there you go. Like, I don't know. Do something different. But this year we have so many people banged up and everyone's tired, and it's just like, but put some respect on the Warriors' name, man. They're playing better against the Timberwolves, without Steph than the Nuggets are playing with Luka. The Cavs playing with Mitchell. The Celtics with everyone. That means something. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? about the Golden State Warriors being unwatchable without Steph Curry? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.